So in this video, we're going to go over the homework for 5.5. So the first couple of problems are talking about naming the smallest and largest angles of a triangle. So the smallest is opposite the smallest side. So angle C is going to be the smallest. Okay, and maybe what we'll do is we'll set up a little table. So let me do it this way. So why don't we say small, and we'll say largest. So we should say smallest. Okay, so we'll do this for these problems. So problem 1, the smallest angle is angle C because it's opposite the 6, and the largest angle is angle B. For 2, look for the 6. It is opposite the R. So it's the smallest, and look at the 10, and it is opposite the Q, so the Q is the largest. For the next one, the 2 is opposite, that's an H, so that's the smallest, and the 4 is opposite the F, so that is the largest. And for this last one, the smallest, the 5 is opposite the N, so that's the smallest, and the 9 is opposite the M, so that's the largest. Okay, so that's the first couple. Let's go on to the next problems. Okay, so problem 5 asks us to name the shortest and the longest side. So here is the smallest angle. So right here will be the shortest side. Here is the largest angle. So right here will be the longest side. Okay, let's go on to problem number 6. Okay, so since these problems are asking the same type of things, let's have our column again. So this will be the shortest side, and this will be the longest side. Okay, so problem 6, we are missing some information. So we know that this is 90, this is 35, so what is this angle going to be? And if we do the math, it should be 55, because 5 and 5 is 10, carry the 1, 3 and 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9, 90 plus 90 is 180. So now that I know all the angles, I can really evaluate the problem. Don't try to evaluate the problem if you have a missing angle. Okay, so the side opposite the 35 is going to be the shortest, and I'm going to call that KJ. Okay, you can also call it baby H. Either one works. And the longest side is going to be the hypotenuse because it's a right triangle, which is either called JH, and if you use 2, you should put a bar above it. The other way to name that is baby K. Okay, so the next question is also missing an angle. So you want to do some math work first. So 71 and 42 is going to be 113. I know I have 180 degrees in every triangle, so let's do a little subtraction, and we will see that I have 67 degrees in the remaining angle. Now I'm able to answer the question. So the smallest side is across from the smallest angle, so that's going to make it across from 42, so that's AC. That's one way to name it, or you can name it little b. Okay, the longest is the 71. That's across from AB. So that's a fine name, as is little c. Okay, we have the same situation in problem number 8. We have not enough information to totally tackle the problem. So we're going to add these two angles that they gave us together. And then we're going to take that sum and subtract it from 180 rather. So that's going to be 3, that's a 7, that's another 3. So the missing angle is 33 degrees. Now that we know that, we know the smallest side is DF, or you can call it little side E, and the biggest side is across from that 110-degree angle, and that is ED, or you can call it little side F. Okay, so that takes care of 6, 7, and 8. And it looks like we had a little misnumbering issue there. So we're up to number 11 now. And again, it says name the smallest and largest angles. So we'll say small angle, and we'll say large angle here. And then it says short side and long side. Alright, so we're lacking some information because I'm missing an angle. So the first thing you want to do is add the two angles that they gave you together, and that gives you 135. And then you take 180 and you subtract away that 135, and that's going to give me 5 and 45. So the missing angle is 45, and now I can make some more decisions. Okay, the smallest angle is that angle E. Okay, you could also call that angle DEF. Remember, we can name it with 3 letters. The largest angle is 103 degrees. So that is named angle F. And we can also call that angle EFD. Okay, the shortest side is opposite. So let me see if I lost my head here. Oh, I did lose my head. Okay, so let me go back. And let's fix this and let's fix this, because what do we know? We know that this is the smallest angle right here at 32. So I lost my head. So this is angle D, and this is why it's always important to check your work, even if you are the teacher. And I can also call that EDF. Okay, so let's just check. Angle F is the biggest, and angle D is indeed the smallest. Okay, short side. So the short side is opposite from the short angle. So that short side you can either call side EF or little side D. And the long side is across from the 103-degree angle, and that's either going to be side ED or little side F. Okay, so that's all the homework we had, but I do want to go over 2 more problems, and we'll do that on the next page. Okay, so here is the setup for these 2 problems I wanted to go over. So, is it possible to have a triangle that consists of sides of 8, 10, and 17? So what you need to remember is that for a triangle to exist, if you add any 2 sides together, it has to be greater than the third side. So you have to test it like this. You have to say, okay, 8 plus 10, is that greater than 17? And right away, it is not. So it's not going to be a triangle. But let's go on in case you picked other numbers first. How about 10 plus 17? Is that greater than 8? And the answer is yes there. And what haven't we added together yet? How about 8 plus 17? And is that greater than 10? And you can say yes again. So because you have one no, game over, no triangle possible. Okay? A lot of times it's easier to go ahead and draw the triangle and put the numbers on it so that you know the first go around you would add 8 and 10, the second go around you would add 10 and 17, and the third go around you would add 17 and 8. So whichever way is easier for you, do that, but you have to do the math 3 times to make a determination. Okay, another version of this kind of problem is if I give you 2 sides and I ask you what's the inequality that would represent the possible choices for the third side. So what you would do is you would put your missing side, x, in the middle, and you would say it has to be less than the sum of these 2 and the sum of those two is 50, and greater than the difference of those two. And that's your inequality that represents the possible side lengths of the remaining triangle. If asked to list them, you would start with 11, and you would go all the way up to 49. Okay, and again, the way we got them was to say 20 plus 30, that gave me the 50, and then 30 minus 20 gave me the 10. Okay, so that's the other type of problem that's in this section. So I hope you understood this, and just check back over that homework to make sure it's all clear, so that as you do the review, you'll have a good handle on this information.